Ready? All right. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming today. Today is day 30 of our federal government shutdown, and we are now starting to feel the impact here in our community in St. Louis County. It's starting to take its toll. So as many of you know, SNAP will expire on Saturday. This federally funded program supports 42 million Americans and 655,000 residents in Missouri. SNAP is also known as a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and in St. Louis County, SNAP helps 47,000 families. And that's those receiving assistance in the month of September. And even before the shutdown, we knew that these families were struggling. The prices are going up on just about everything, on groceries, on rent, on utilities, and health insurance costs are going up too. And at this point, the White House and Congress is not yet prepared to extend the support that was put in place during the pandemic for the Obamacare health insurance supplemental programs. So when open enrollment begins for the Obamacare programs on Saturday, many families are going to find out that their health insurance is now just out of reach, and the clock is ticking. 2 days from now, hundreds of thousands of Missourians will also lose their access to SNAP benefits, that puts food on their table. And at the same time, healthcare costs will push even further out of reach for many of our neighbors. That means more families without health insurance, more families who are sick, more families turning to public health, to the St. Louis County Department of Public Health for help. This Berkeley office is just one of our 3 facilities where they can find health care that they can't perhaps afford to get anywhere else. The mission of the health department is to protect, to promote, and to improve the health and the lives of all of our St. Louis County residents. They do that by focusing on disease prevention, on educational programs, and making sure that every resident in St. Louis County has access to affordable health care, no matter where they live, no matter what zip code they're in, no matter what kind of work they do. They can get access to the care that they need. The thousands served each year by the St. Louis County Department of Health are underinsured or uninsured, and often this is the only access to health care that they have. We anticipate now with the Medicaid cuts in our country and in Missouri, and the current inaction on the extension of the Obamacare programs, will send even more people to the St. Louis County Department of Health for their health care, and we're ready to help them. During the second longest shutdown in American history, the St. Louis County Health Department is preparing to help in other ways as well. In our community always steps up. St. Louis always steps up. It has a generous spirit, and it's been showcased time and time again. The St. Louis County Department of Public Health, in cooperation with the St. Louis County Library System, is now going to start collecting, as of today, collecting baby formula, diapers, and wipes. You can drop them off at any of our St. Louis County location, or any of our St. Louis County Library locations, or any of our 3 health centers. One of our health centers is here, of course, the John C. Murphy Health Center in Berkeley, and the address is 6121 North Hanley Road. The North Central Health Center is in Pine Lawn, and that's located at 4000 Jennings Stations Road, also in North County. And the South County Health Center is at 4580 South Lindbergh, 4580 South Lindbergh in Sunset Hills. Bins will be placed at each of our health center locations, in each county library branch location during regular business hours between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can drop off diapers, wipes, and baby formula. We've also set up wish lists on Amazon and Target. For those watching online on our Facebook feed, you can see that link in the comment section. And we'll share those, for those in the media, we'll share those links with you as well, so you can help us get those out into the community. We're focusing on diapers, wipes, and baby formulas because they can be pricey. And it's tough for young families to have to decide between feeding their babies, between paying their rent, between paying their utilities. Yesterday, the state confirmed that the WIC program, the Women's, Infants, and Children's Program, will be supported by state funds through the month of November, and that's a big deal. That's a good thing. This WIC program does allow families to purchase food, but it doesn't always cover the cost of groceries for the whole family. So your help in supplying baby formula will still go a long way for these needy families. And as a parent, you always know that you never have enough diapers or wipes. And these items are not covered by WIC. So that's why the health department is stepping up. That's why we're stepping up in an unprecedented way. Our public health workers know the struggles of these families. They know them well. They understand that often these parents are working multiple low-wage jobs and they are barely covering their expenses. So we're calling on all of our neighbors to help. Help your neighbors, help your friends, help our families in need. If you have resources and you can help, we're asking you to step up, then please do so. We'll collect these items through November 17th at our county library locations and at our public health locations. And we'll provide more details on their distribution as that end date of collection, November 17th, as that approaches. So now I'd like to turn the podium over to Dr. Kanika Cunningham, Director of Public Health here in St. Louis County. She'll tell us a little bit more about some of the programs here at the St. Louis County Health Department to help some of our families who need help the most. Dr. Cunningham.
Thank you all for joining us today. Today, as we come together to highlight, we're coming together to highlight something that truly lies at the heart of public health, as well as near and dear to my heart: access to healthy, affordable food for our children and our babies. Right now, many families across St. Louis County, they are facing real challenges when it comes to putting nutritious meals on the table. Programs like SNAP are critical lifelines, in addition to WIC. They just don't fill pantries. They help stabilize households, healthy food, children do better in school, adults are more productive at work, and communities become healthier. At the Department of Public Health, we see firsthand how food insecurity directly impacts physical and mental well-being. Poor nutrition contributes to chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, all of which place an enormous burden on individuals and our healthcare system. That is why our role doesn't stop at treating illnesses. We're here to address the social and economic factors that shape health, and food security is one of the most powerful indicators of health. During this crisis, public health is serving as a gap for our community and community partners, making sure that no family falls through the cracks. Whether it's connecting residents to resources, supporting vulnerable populations, and coordinating with trusted partners, the Public Health Department is here to ensure that every person in St. Louis County has the opportunity to lead a healthy life. As Dr. Page mentioned, WIC is a supplemental program, and families often use SNAP to make up the benefits. St. Louis County has the largest recipient of SNAP beneficiaries, and the Health Department cares for half of the WIC population in St. Louis County, meaning majority of our children and infants. As a recent second-time mom, the worry of making sure your baby has food is one thing no mom should have to face, and formula is expensive, and diapers and wipes are too. That is why today we're calling on our community to come together in that same spirit of care and compassion. This community drive is an opportunity for each of us to show what makes St. Louis County strong and the importance of maintaining a strong public health infrastructure. Every donation, no matter how small, helps a family in need and sends a message that no one in our community stands alone. Together, we can ensure our infants and children have access to the nourishment and care they deserve. We also know that none of this work happens in isolation. Our partnerships are what make this effort possible. One of those invaluable partners is the St. Louis County Libraries. Libraries have become more than a place for books. They are vital community hubs that people come to for information, connection, and support. It is my pleasure to introduce someone whose leadership and collaboration has been instrumental to our shared mission to strengthen the health and well-being of our community, and someone who is my friend, Kristen Sorth, Director of St. Louis County Libraries.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kristen Sorth, and I'm the Director and CEO of the St. Louis County Library. I'm so pleased to be here today to talk about another partnership between the library and St. Louis County, and also the Health Department, who we have been working with hand in hand for many years now, during the pandemic and after. We all have a proven track record when it comes to supporting families in our region. The library is a trusted community partner and a valuable resource for so many. Our programs and services, along with trusted partnerships with Operation Food Search to provide summer and after-school meals for children, as well as our partnership with the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank to provide diapers and period supplies at select branches, places us in a unique position to know what our community and our neighbors need in times of uncertainty. Starting today through November 17th, the St. Louis County Library will serve as a drop-off site for this donation drive. Community members can drop off formula, diapers, and wipes at any of our 20 branch locations all over St. Louis County. The library also has after-school meals for children at 4 of our branches: Lewis and Clark, Prairie Commons, Natural Bridge, and Weber Road. The Healthy Light meals are available for children and teens from 5 years of age through 18 years of age, Monday through Friday. There are also activities for kids and teens during this time, so we do encourage parents and families and caregivers to bring their kids over to our branches after school. We know that our community is extremely generous and shows up to assist our neighbors. Consider donating starting today at one of your St. Louis County Library branches. And now I will turn it back over to Dr. Page.
Thank you. I'd be glad to take any questions. Anyone?
Dr. Page?
Yes.
Obviously, we talked a lot about insurance here today. Are you concerned that people are going to be putting off, potentially life-saving, doctor's visits because they simply don't have insurance?
Well, the question is about putting off medical care, life-saving care for families that don't have insurance. That always happens when people don't have insurance. They have to scramble to try and figure out how to pay for things. And it's even a bigger deal when it's kids, and we don't want to see that. We're certainly disappointed in the Medicaid cuts that passed most recently that will impact a lot of families in Missouri, but the loss of these Obamacare subsidies are going to be a really big deal, and it starts on Saturday. So we need to get this figured out. We need the White House and Congress to come together to get the government open, to get these insurance programs funded so kids here in St. Louis County can have access to medical care, so they can stay in school, they can grow up educated, and they can work in our community.
Dr. T, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
What's the more concerning thing? People putting off health care or families going without food?
Actually, both are concerning. When you have an unfortunate economic impact like this, people do put off health care. They put off caring for themselves and bodies, because honestly, the idea of I gotta feed my kids, I gotta feed myself, that becomes a priority. So utilities can go unpaid, rent can go unpaid. It's a natural, people need to eat. And I think we're getting ready to see the importance of making sure people have access to healthy food, even beyond this crisis, that this is something that we need to continue to do ongoing, because it's a real need in North County as well as across the country right now.
Yes.
As a lot of people have sort of alluded to, there's a lot of factors happening all at once right now. We're seeing subsidies go away, we're seeing SNAP getting frozen, utilities costs getting higher, grocery costs getting higher. I guess is this sort of a crisis that's been unprecedented?
So the question is about the perfect storm that we're in, the alignment of crisis around food, utility costs, inflation, access to health care. I think what we're seeing during the second longest shutdown in the history of our country, what we're seeing is testing the boundaries of a fundamental realignment of our priorities. Do we value folks that need help? Do we value people that don't have access to health care? Do we value people who aren't going to be able to feed their kids? where does that fit in our priorities when we determine where our tax dollars go, where our budgets go? And we're in the middle of a battle over that question, over realignment of priorities in our country, and we're living through so far the second longest shutdown in the history of our country while we test those boundaries.
What would you like to tell Washington about these people respond to this budget?
Yeah, so the question is about, to summarize that, I think it's about the harm that's caused by the political showdown. And this is real. I would tell people this is real. You know, as a medical doctor, I've certainly seen people who come to the hospital who haven't taken care of basic problems early, and now they've got a catastrophe on their hands. And it's going to be worse when the kids don't eat. And it's going to be worse when people can't stay in their homes. And we're just at the leading edge now. We've had a month of this. We're at the leading edge of a time when things are going to get bad really, really fast. And until this gets sorted out, St. Louis County will do what we can with our limited resources. We're in tough budget times ourselves, and we have to make tough choices. But we're going to step up and try and help these families as much as we can with the resources we have, but also with a convener, as a convener in the community, to bring people together to volunteer to help. And that's why we're asking people who can afford to help, who have the resources, to step up in St. Louis County and to help with providing formula and diapers and wipes to these families that are going to be doing without starting on Saturday.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
Two other announcements. I do want to highlight our St. Louis Area Food Bank. They have a list of other items that they are collecting. If someone is coming here to the health department and you want to drop these items off, we'll make sure that we get these items over to our food bank, or even we can give these out ourselves. And then also, I wouldn't be who I am if I did not mention that sometimes our families who have companion animals, their pets, that oftentimes their pets will go either stray or get surrendered because they don't have the resources to care for themselves. So I also want to announce that we have pet resources as well that we will be giving out at our animal shelter and to our families. We understand that human food is food insecurity, but also during this time, we want to make sure that we can keep our companion animals with their families and keep their families whole. So we also have a list of resources for pets as well that will be available.
Thank you, Dr. Cunningham. Any other questions? Okay, thanks for coming out. Thanks for sharing this link and this opportunity. Thank you.